When it comes to big organizations being able to bring together strategy and creative, as you were talking about, it's the idea of integrated teams, it's the idea of behaving collaboratively, it's the idea of really defining agency partner roles. When you look at some of the organizations that we spend time with, the right strategy team seamlessly tied into the work of the right creative team, collaborating with the right agency partners to bring to life that expression of the brand, whether it exists physically or digitally. The most effective organizations are one that can bring them together in the most efficient and effective way possible.
A great idea can come from basically anyone. Some folks are better verbally, some folks are better from a visual perspective, but when you bring all those people together, I think you have a very rich foundation for innovation across a lot of different touch points.
So it's the best brands in the world intimately tie together strategy and creative expression, because that's how customers engage with brands. That's how they're served by the brands that they choose, is simultaneously engaging with the strategy at the same time they're understanding and experiencing the expression of that brand.
Well, I think game-changing innovation it's got to be part of your daily routine, because the marketplace changes every day. It's a little bit different today than it was yesterday. And it's going to be a little bit different tomorrow. And I think that the brands, from an innovation perspective, they have to realize that, and they have to be able to deploy that so that it's innovation becomes part of the brand, and it's something that's meaningful.
And the willingness to jump into a new idea, to capitalize on something that exists out there. It does take courage.
It takes a lot of courage. Yeah. And it's funny, because when we've talked about true innovation with some clients, they get so frightened about just changing the smallest of nuances, whether it's working with someone from behind a counter and just removing a barrier and pulling them out front. Just something as minor as that can almost freeze them in their tracks and really almost derail a project.
So how do you get a great brand to get past that fear of disappointing its customers and helping them to push into new space?
I think you have to, it's a complete mindset overall. You have to be able to think about it in a different way and see the benefit from a customer perspective. And one of the first things that we typically ask a client is this project, does it want to be something that's revolutionary or evolutionary? I think that revolutionary takes a lot of courage. It takes a lot of effort. It takes a lot of attention, and you have to let go. Evolutionary is not like that. Evolutionary, you can keep some of the things that have gotten you where you are, but you're just trying to make those better.
I think you made a great point also earlier about the idea of how you have to break down your desire for innovation from a client standpoint into its most basic. What is the experience we're trying to deliver? What do we want people to say or feel at the end? And then what are the fundamental building blocks to delivering that type of feeling or experience? When you break it down to its most basic level, or said a slightly different way, what's the business challenge that you're trying to address? It frames innovation in a much broader and more complete way, and really unleashes the power of the entire organization and the organization's agency partners in a way that they can come together and collaboratively define what that new experience, that new service model, that new form of engagement could actually deliver for the broader notion of the brand experience. World-changing brands take that holistic and complete approach to the world.
One of the exciting things about retail right now is that there have been a lot of vacancies recently. And over the past 4 to 5 years, there's a lot of space out there that it's been vacated. And I think the atmosphere is ripe right now for the little guy to kind of get more involved in bigger mainstream retail, if you will. There's opportunities that folks like that have an entrepreneurial spirit have had now that they didn't used to have, and ways to come to market, opportunities to come to market. I think it's a different atmosphere now, and I think that's really where there's some exciting things happening.
To me, the most interesting transformation, the most exciting one from a retail standpoint, is the emergence of brand sophistication. When you think about organizations that haven't prioritized brand and understanding all that makes a brand strong and how a brand can be used to better deliver value and create value for the organization, that's an emerging area of discipline for many retailers. So it's the most powerful and valuable retail organizations are the ones that are becoming much more schooled and sophisticated about brand than some of their colleagues. And you start to see that in the way that brand communication becomes prioritized, how brand starts to influence experiences in powerful ways, and how brand starts to be a consideration for how each of these retailers might exist in an omni-channel sort of way. So if you think about that idea of brand sophistication, it's an incredibly exciting area of activity and emergence of energy, which I think is you're going to start to see in the next few years how it differentiates some retailers from others. How well can you use and deploy your brand as a value-creating asset rather than as simply something that you put on your door or execute consistently in your circular? That's going to define success for retailers in the next 5 years.